Hello, and welcome back to the Drinky Talky Thing. It's been a very, 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 very long time.
Yeah.
So long we've forgotten basically what we're doing.
Not that we haven't forgotten everything.
Yeah.
we have beer. We figured that much out. We've drank enough of it to get us started. I got married.
Yes.
In the time that we've been off. Which is why we've been off, basically. And then I'm going on honeymoon soon as well, so that's going to be another 3 weeks gone.
Yeah, and I'm going back to work. Back to work in Canada for 2 weeks. So there's 2 weeks at the end.
Yeah.
When do you go on your honeymoon?
Oh shit! I go on September 11th. Bad time to fly, but
we're back like the week before.
So you're back the week before. So
basically
we're here for 5 weeks.
Here for this recording, we might get a recording next week. Might.
And then that's it. What's Trevor going to do?
I don't know.
I got a desperate message from him while you were away last time. It's like, I'm trying to post something onto the page and it's not working.
No. Because
the only advice I gave was like, try again.
Basically what happened was that WordPress updated and that's our pizza.
Oh, bad times. It's recording now.
It's good.
I don't know where we got to.
No.
Edit this seamlessly and no one will ever know.
I'm not going to lie. We stopped for pizza. We stopped for pizza.
Yep.
We got through
evidenced by pizza
you can't actually see that.
It's fine.
We
have game stuff
we
as well.
We got through the intros and we were trying to work out what the fuck we were doing regarding the game's news. And
there's too much, so we're just going to pick some favourites.
No, we're going to pick what we could work out happened in the last month.
Codemasters are back on form.
Yeah, they're re-releasing the Colin McRae shit on Steam, and this is good news because the Colin McRae rally games
were
awesome. Yeah,
it's just a shame, obviously, that Colin McRae didn't last as long as the games.
No. It was bad times when he went, but it made rallying good.
Yeah.
Of all the racing, all the types of racing, that's the one I enjoy the most.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, whenever you got to a Codemasters game, when they announced they were going racing only, that's what came to mind. Colin McRae, nothing else. I know they have like
the
F1 sims.
The F1 sims are above and beyond any other F1 sim that there's ever been.
But I just went back to this because at the same time you had things like V Rally, which were like
virtual rally and all that.
Quite the same.
But no, not just games, racing in general, racing in general. I love, or used to love. I don't watch racing as much anymore, but used to love watching the World Rally Championship. Because when
you just know somebody's going to go flying off a cliff.
It's not about. It's when they didn't go flying off the cliff. When there was one race, and I think it was the Wales Rally, and there's this corner that they had to hairpin around, and there was this tree on the corner, so they had to hairpin around it, and there was a big ravine, big cliff down the other side of the tree. Somebody decided to put their toe down and jump the ravine and go around the inside of the tree to knock 4 seconds off their lap.
Different?
Yeah, to knock 4 seconds off the time. And just watching it and it was amazing watching everybody skid around that corner and the speeds that they do it at. Then watching it, and then this racer comes. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't McRae. It was one of the others.
Just flew.
It was basically, woohoo! Dukes of fucking Hazzard.
I mean, it makes you think, doesn't it? It's like, was that intentional?
No,
there was a story.
It had to be.
There was a story not so long ago, wasn't there? I can't remember who it was. He was saying about he's got a co-driver, and he just said, basically, I can't understand a word he says. just go wherever. I can't remember who it was. It came out in the news. Apparently he's got a history of being a bit of a wild card. Previously, he paid a homeless man to sit next to him because he needed a co-driver. I just love the thought. All right, mate, do you want to just sit here for a bit? I'll pay you.
You may die. You may die, but it'll be worth it. I'll take you around the world, but you may die. To be honest, with those odds, I'll take the job.
Yeah. So I'm getting told I'm trying to explain how to change. How to change a speaker system to work with a different input.
Oh dear. So where are we going to go next? Free to play games. Yes.
No longer free.
Well, this is it. Google Play Store has finally relented and changed their policy on how free-to-play games are shown in the Play Store. Because they're not free. They are in no shape, size or form free.
No, especially not when you let kids
yeah.
have access and they just go, buy!
So actually listing them is that in their price as free was a bit misleading.
Yeah.
So it's a very minor thing that they've done, but it has very reaching implications.
Just taking away free takes that bit away from me.
Well, it makes the people that were glancing at it before and going, oh, that's free.
Yeah.
They now have to think for half a second, and if they happen to have any brain cells, which, to be fair, if they're downloading Candy Crush Saga, they don't.
Aye.
Oops. Yeah, I'll agree with you.
Statement. They have to think about it. And
it's that whole thing, just changing the wording on a button can make a massive difference.
Yeah.
Taking away that wording entirely can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
The words free are
the word free
powerful.
Yeah, it's very important that word is only for what it's actually meant for.
When something's free.
Yeah.
Rather than pay £60 over the space of 3 months for your child to bash buttons on Candy Crush despite not really understanding what they're doing.
Yes.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah,
I hate Candy Crush.
There's a more addictive series of games. Well, not Puzzle Hero Saga, not Puzzle Hero Saga, but Puzzle Hero games, where you it's a bit like Final Fantasy, but you do all your combat with the
with puzzles
with the match colour things. So
the Doctor Who one and it's horrendous.
There is a Doctor Who one. Basically, as you make the matches, that equates to your cast of heroes. One will be each colour, and when you get their colours mixed up, they get to attack. They'll have strengths and weaknesses against the enemies, and
that's pretty cool. So you can keep hammering the same colour.
Come on my nose.
So I assume then that sounds really good.
Yeah.
As much as I don't want to admit it, that sounds really good.
Yeah, so you follow through a storyline and you've got all your battles, and it's all done with a little puzzle board down in the bottom that basically
can you
each
change weapons on characters like a proper RPG, or is it just
to a degree you can change your team setup to have more healing characters, more
right?
So if you know,
right, stop it! You're selling me on this game, and the whole point was we don't want people buying these games because they're not free. They're far from free.
See, this one is because the microtransactions don't actually kick in.
Oh, so really there's no downside to this game?
No.
And you don't know the name of it?
It's Doctor Who, Warriors in Time or something like that.
Right, okay.
It's easy to find.
I'll be playing that later. Where else do we go?
Well, sticking with the microtransactions things, there is actually been other news in microtransactions, and that's the Fair Trade Commission has filed a lawsuit against Amazon over in-app purchases for kids' games. Basically, apart from them being too high and borderline fucking scams, basically,
Sorry, I will contribute.
It's complaining that the FTC are taking Amazon to task over the fact that it's too easy for the kids to actually pay these stupidly large amounts. They're not as bothered with the fact that there's a £25 transaction in this game, but the fact that kid can make that £25 transaction within 2 button presses.
To me, this reeks of hypocrisy though, because contactless payments on cards are for anything under 20 quid.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And what you're saying there is anything under 20 quid is a transaction. But on a phone, if you're paying anything close to £20, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what they want. I think they want, because you can make most transactions without ever logging back into the account. So if the account's flagged as logged in, you can make you can make as many transactions as you want. What they want is that kind of price break point where if it goes beyond this price mark for an individual transaction, then the user has to manually log in, which is not going to stop all of it, because most kids know their parents' passwords anyway.
Yeah, and most parents
Yeah.
This is probably going to sound really bad 'cause it's not most parents, but a lot of parents aren't necessarily that clued up.
No.
They don't take that much interest.
And,
Just set it up
and
the
there
way
are
it
a handful out there that will just buy the thing to shut the kid up.
Yeah.
It's a bad time, but
Give them Mario, that'll teach them a life lesson.
yeah, it'll scare them off games forever
Yeah.
because
if
that
at
thing.
first you don't succeed, go back to the fucking beginning and start again.
See,
love Mario.
I'd like a game to go back. I say I'd like a game to go back to that, but then I wouldn't at the same time because I don't have the time. I
Well,
like
it
how games have
depends.
simplified. 'Cause
It's not simplified. The focus has changed. So if you want a game for gameplay, you go play the Mario style game. If you want a game for story, which where most games are now,
Yeah.
story driven, you can't have go back to the beginning because you're just replaying the
well,
first
no.
three.
But Mario wasn't designed that way because of gameplay.
No, that's just
It was
how things were
designed.
at the time.
It was that way at the time because they were still actually designing with an arcade
Yeah.
mentality, where the arcade mentality was make them start again because the fuckers will have to put another quarter in.
Yeah. Whereas now it's purely, well, we're trying to tell a story. If they die now, fuck, we
Yeah.
have to retell the bastard thing again, which isn't good. It's not immersive at all, is it? Where else did we get to? Unreal Tournament.
I was going to stick with
Oh, you-
microtransactions for a while
Go on then.
because there is one more story.
Yeah.
You
You're
don't want
clearly
to talk.
ahead of me here, aren't
You
you?
don't want to talk about this one, do you?
Titanfall?
Kardashian.
Oh, Titanfall also a microtransaction story. Kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah,
Loosely.
we can get to that one in a bit. But the Kardashian.
Yeah, this is why.
If you'd listened to this purely in audio, there was a double face palm, head hung.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian stands to make out of a month's worth of her Kim Kardashian Hollywood game, and I use that term as loosely as humanly possible, $85 million personally for the game.
Yeah.
The game itself has made $200 million.
Yeah.
That's just her personal cut of it. This game is exactly what will be the end of the mobile marketplace.
It's depressing. Basically, you buy clothes and go to parties and yeah.
Yeah, so the game is about your Kim. You want to become the next Kardashian, the next big thing, and you've got to do that by buying the right clothes, having the right boyfriend, and going to the right parties. Occasionally, you can go to a photo shoot as a job, but it actually earns you less credits than going to any of the others.
Yeah.
And the best thing that can get you the most credits is buying Kim things she wants.
Oh, the entire thing is just cringeworthy.
Yeah.
And kids shouldn't be allowed to play it, but clearly they are.
Yeah.
Or adults are playing it, and that's even worse.
Well, there's two bits. There's two more bits to this. In the first week, the servers couldn't handle the amount of load there was, so it went down. It tells you the average the average intelligence level of people in this game when Kim Kardashian was sent numerous, and I mean numerous, death threats for the servers not being stable, for the fact that their characters were losing out on going to this party, that party, and losing out on credit.
Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah.
But at the same time, really not funny.
No, it shouldn't be funny, but it kind of is. And then, on top of that, it's just... I can't remember where I was going to go next, but that thing pissed me off.
I don't think you could say more than just an audible face palm. It's just... it boggles my mind why this could succeed. Why would anyone play a game where you just have to pay money to buy clothes, buy things for a virtual Kim Kardashian,
Yeah.
and go to parties?
Yeah. I give it 2 months. 2 months. It's going to be popular for a little while, but within the next 2 months, I guarantee there will be a lawsuit raised against Kim Kardashian by an enraged parent who realises that their kid has spent thousands of dollars on this game.
Yeah. That's not going to happen.
It is.
Oh, they might try and raise one, but it won't get anywhere.
Oh no, the lawsuit won't get anywhere, but they'll be raised. They may be raised individually, it may be raised as a class action suit. If it's a class action suit, then it stands a chance. And it won't go against Kardashian herself, it'll go against the game's developer.
Yeah, but ultimately, it's a game with microtransactions like any other. It's just, not only does it have a deplorable business model, but the actual values instilled by the game are absolutely terrible as well.
Yeah.
It's a double whammy. It's good. I like it.
But I'd give it, 2 months before at least one lawsuit is raised about it.
Yeah.
And it may get nowhere, but it's going to happen.
Yeah. And on a similar kind of track to it's
Yeah.
going to happen, Titanfall doesn't have microtransactions. But
Yes. Right. It now has a black market store type thing where you could buy decals and peripheral crap that doesn't actually make any impact on the gameplay.
you earn credits in game by playing the game,
Yeah.
which you can then spend on.
Yeah. So they've added this, but the credit system is, as Gao says, all in-game. So you have to play the games to earn the credits to buy the things.
So there is no way to possibly use your real world money to buy these credits yet.
Yeah, I see this as I can't. It's the end of the wedge.
Well, to be fair, there's two things. They could be doing this for the reasons of an introduction to build up to microtransactions, or they could be doing it because for some reason people like virtual points. Any kind of achievement, any kind of trophy. Reddit is a perfect example. Yeah, have some karma. Great, I've now got an extra digit on my number of karma. It doesn't actually do anything physically, but people compete for them, and it could be their way of keeping people in the game.
I don't think so.
We'll find out. It could be because Titanfall
Well,
has a lot of churn.
Has a lot of churn, but think about it. They're about to go into the Chinese marketplace.
Yeah, but I don't think it... Oh, yeah, fair point. I don't see Titanfall lasting all that long.
They're about to hit the Chinese marketplace with the Xbox One, which means Titanfall's going to go out in China, and they're going to have expectations to be able to pay in microtransactions. Which means they've built the system now so that they can do it in China. Once they've done it in China, then that will, as always, bubble back to...
I don't think Titanfall has a long game plan. I don't think it's going to last that long. That's my thing. I think it's a game that is going to last until a better game comes along, which isn't going to take that long.
To be fair, I don't rate Titanfall that much.
It's going to, yeah, well, that's it. It's going to die a death. Because everyone I know that's played it has gone, yeah, it's good fun. And then the conversation ends. They never go on about it. It's the game that everyone will play until something better comes along.
See, here's what they should do. This will kill the Chinese market and the Asian market, and probably do quite well over here. Reskin it and just make them all Evangelion.
Yeah, I think it would kill the Chinese market, but yeah, I don't think it'd do well over here either.
I think it would. Evangelion's quite popular over here.
Oh.
It's not Neo Genesis, Evangelion, anime, giant kids in giant mech suits.
You know my thing with Evangelion. Any kind of anime, I just sit there and smile and nod. And,
yes, I know you do, but it is a good one, and to the point the Japanese are mental about it, to the point where they actually have arcade games based around Evangelion.
Is this where you get in an actual...
Yes, the game to play the game, you actually have to get into a pod as if you were piloting the giant mech suit.
See, that's how arcades should be.
Yeah.
None of this nonsense with joysticks.
So you have 4 to 6 people in these pods running around the game, and the people outside the pods
spectate.
Yeah, spectate it.
Nice.
Japanese arcades are mental. I want to go to Japan just to go to the arcades.
Yeah. What do we get? We get like a dodgy,
Mario Kart.
We get a dodgy little emulator in a takeaway. That's pretty much the limit of our arcade.
Trocadero Centre, London, the Mario Kart machines.
Oh, is it still there?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Still there.
I remember the HMV shut down, didn't it? Which is where they used to have all the games. And
yeah, the Trocadero Centre is still there. Still got the Mario Kart arcades. Where Pac-Man is a raceable character. It's a pair up between Nintendo and Capcom. So there's a lot more characters in there and different tracks, and it's really cool. But
nice.
I don't know where we're going for that.
We're going to Nintendo and their $97 million quarterly loss.
Yes.
Quarterly? Fucking hell.
Yes.
Sorry, that was bad language, but yeah, that's quite... I knew they were not doing brilliantly, but that's quite a lot. Especially given the fact that Mario Kart has saved them a bit.
Yeah, it is helping to turn things around, but it's only helping. It hasn't turned things around. It won't turn things around.
The game itself represented 64% of all software sales.
Yeah.
That's depressing, isn't it? But like I said, I still think this is the tipping point. Things are going to get better, and you've got Smash Brothers coming in the near future.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's Smash Brothers is too niche.
Pokemon? Smash Brothers isn't niche anymore.
It is.
It's not. For anyone that owns a Nintendo, they're going to buy Smash Brothers.
For anybody that we know that owns a Nintendo, they're going to buy a Smash Brothers.
Yeah. I'd buy a Nintendo for Smash Brothers.
Yeah, we are the kind of people that are that niche. It doesn't detract from the fact that it's niche just because we have...
Our entire market is niche now. Candy Crush Saga is the main market, right? We're the niche.
I don't fucking care.
We're in the wrong, not them.
But, yeah, it's been terrible times for Nintendo. And it's going to continue to be terrible times until they put Pokemon on the Wii U.
I still think...
They need a title that huge to do it.
They need Game Boy compatibility.
Yeah.
You've got 2 screens, just do it already. I'm genuinely lost why they haven't done that. I think they might think it'll cannibalise the sales.
Or the alternative option, make the gamepad optional.
No, because then you couldn't do the Game Boy. I would say DS...
Yeah, but you do make the gamepad optional, you reduce the cost of the console substantially.
I don't think cost's the issue, though.
And you get the third parties back because they don't have to worry about developing something for that touchpad.
If you think about that, it's a lower powered console. People are buying the Sony PS4 at a much higher cost. Cost, I don't think, is the issue in this scenario. I think it's purely games.
Yeah.
And I don't think they could win enough developers quickly enough. Whereas if they made the back catalogue of the DS available, you could just
the DS catalogue would be able to port over quicker, but then the third part, you get a lot of ports to begin with, but then you're seeing
that's
that
all
with
you
the
need
PS3.
for DS, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I mean if you just made the Pro controller the only controller.
Ah, fair enough. Did we get? There is a nasty rumour about Google and Twitch.
Oh, do we really want to go?
I don't even know if it's legitimate or not.
Right, for the last 2 months, this is one story that I do know about. For the last 2 months, because this has been bubbling over for quite some time, about once a week, VentureBeat or a similar business gaming news site,
usually starting with "You heard it here first." Again,
will run the story that Google has bought Google has bought Twitch for 1 point. Here's where it gets messy because the value differs in every telling. It goes from 1 billion to 2 billion. I have seen one reference of 4 billion.
The way I see it is, if Facebook paid however many billions for Instagram, that seems like they've got a bargain.
Yeah.
1 billion for Twitch. So
for the last 2 months, these stories have been popping up saying Google are buying Twitch, Google are buying Twitch. At no point have either Google or Twitch said anything about this.
Yeah.
It's always sources close to.
Industry
insider, sources close to, investors sound interested in. The investors would be interested in, because 1 billion purchase from of Twitch is a lot of money for the people who invested in Twitch.
Yeah.
But until either of the two companies involved step forward and say a fucking thing, I don't buy it. I would buy it if I had that kind of money, but
yeah, it's a logical decision, and I think that's why this is about it. This is why, because people are going, well, Google probably should buy Twitch, but ultimately it doesn't seem like they have yet.
No, it's at the same time it's kind of one of those odd situations that I understand why it's logical. I just don't want it because I know how bad YouTube are acting at the minute, and
they've got big to the point where they now have to play by the copyright rules.
It's not that they're playing by the copyright rules. It's that they've made in order to play by the copyright rules, they've made a copyright protection system that is too open for abuse by outside third parties.
Right.
The number of my videos that get flagged by companies that are nothing to do with the game's content that's in them is incredible. I currently have in fact, last week I got 2 copyright claims against me for my Diablo 3 videos by a random Korean TV studio called Media in Motion.
Purely because you had... I don't know, I'm lost.
Yeah. On the grounds that the video content that was in my video was theirs. The video content in that video was me playing Diablo 3, which is perfectly allowed by Blizzard's EULA, and a public statement about video playing. I counterclaimed that and said that. They've dismissed it. I am now left with the only recourse of raising a lawsuit against this company for false claiming. I can't afford to do that.
Can you not just re-upload the video?
It'd get flagged again.
Yeah, that's fine. Just keep doing it over and over until one of them sticks.
Yeah, I'm left with the option of just accepting that they're claiming it and allowing them to put videos on the content that I created.
Yeah,
allowing them to control adverts on the video that I created, or deleting the video, because I can't turn monetization off that video anymore because it's been copyright claimed.
Because it's not yours. Oh, that's ridiculous. Yeah.
And the number of music... A couple of months back, it was the whole music company that decided I'm going to put everything up, and flagged games and thousands of other things that were using their music, despite the fact that it wasn't theirs. It just happened to sound like something in their library.
I remember previously I was flagged for posting a game trailer.
Yeah.
It's like, I genuinely was lost with that one. It's a game trailer that everyone's posting up online. I just put in the response, this is a publicly available game trailer provided by blah blah blah. I've not said I've made it. Reply, and it just went away.
Yeah, a lot of them do. A lot of them do. Even the content creators, games companies are saying that that YouTube system is wrong, and that they are flagging people that they don't intend to. They are wasting time dealing with flaggings that the YouTube system automatically does.
Yeah.
But they can't not use the system, because to be not using the system would be seen as complicit in the areas that they're protecting.
Yeah.
So they have to protect everything or protect nothing.
Yeah.
And they have to, and because it's that open for abuse, they're having to protect everything to stop somebody else coming in and claiming their shit as theirs.
Yeah. Okay. So
that's why I'm hesitant to say the whole Google buying Twitch is a good thing.
I sense you're not a big fan.
I can see the benefits of Google having Twitch. It's a big influx of money. It's a big name behind it. Google could pull in some really, really clever people to help push Twitch into another level.
Unfortunately,
it'll come at the cost.
Yeah.
It'll come with the problems of YouTube.
I think they would honestly just run it as is. Just leave it be. Keep it separate. They might own it as a parent company, but not
I think they'd integrate it directly into YouTube. They've already got live streaming in YouTube. I reckon they just want to... Because that allows them to put monetization into YouTube that they don't have already.
Yeah.
Because YouTube, you can subscribe to individual streamers in Twitch. I give them a monthly payment.
Right, but you can't do that.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Right, I'm moving away from this now because...
I'm getting a bit ranty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that we're fanboys, but the PS4 is the best-selling console. In your face, Xbox.
That's me.
Well, we are fanboys. That's the problem. As much as we like to say, no, we're not fanboys. We just rant and rave
we both
about
ordered
Sony.
them. Both had them ordered for launch.
Yeah, I didn't get mine in the end, though.
No, you sold it on.
I ran out of money. In my defence, I sold it for list price.
Yeah,
so.
you didn't.
I'm
sell
not
it for
that guy. I didn't resell it for money.
Yeah, you didn't sell it for a profit, but you did. sell it.
So what's this about the news channel on Metal Gear Solid? I didn't read this one earlier.
Do we not want to talk a bit more about the sales figures?
Well, it's quite simple. They sold more than everyone else.
Yeah, but the sales figures are quite interesting in general. It has Microsoft shelling the Kinect did double its sales in the last quarter as well. Well, in June, so it doubled its sales, dropping that extra thing and dropping £100 in price. What also saw an increase was Nintendo's sales, up 233% for the Wii U in June, mainly thanks to Mario Kart 8.
Yep.
And software sales went up by 373%.
Can we just refer to Mario Kart 8 as the tipping point from now on? It's never going to be the top-selling console, but it could be
viable.
Yeah, a viable option. One that people have as their secondary console. Somebody gets a PS4 or an Xbox, the Nintendo's the runner-up. That's how I see it.
It's always been that way, but
yeah.
It had potential.
Worryingly, though, Watch Dogs was the best-selling game of the month, despite the fact that it's not that good.
I'm not liking it. I'm really not. I've got it at the minute, and I'm playing through it. And
it lacks polish. That's what we've said in it when we've played it. It's an interesting game.
Yeah, it's not terrible. I've played a lot worse. But there's nothing that makes this game stand out. It's another generic story-driven game. The hacking is
shit.
Secondary. It may as well not be there.
Yeah. There's a person on a phone. Press square. Oh, I can hear their phone call now. Great.
Yeah, I can listen into their phone call and learn a little about them, and that's going to help me how?
Yeah.
Invading other people's games is interesting to a point, but after a while, people invading your game when you're trying to get on with a campaign is fucking irritating to the point where you turn off online play.
Maybe that's where you're going wrong. Maybe everyone else is like really enjoying this because they just get to be constantly harassed by hackers, and that's the fun of the game, and we're missing out on that.
No,
okay.
I can't see how being constantly harassed while you're trying to get on with something is going to be all that inducive to any kind of enjoyment.
It sounds like my work life, to be fair.
Yeah, it's not terrible. I'm liking it for its story so far, but it's not what I was expecting. I was expecting greater things. The puzzles are formulaic. I
still can't believe hacking just comes down to hold square.
Yeah, driving is well, either Seattle. It's not. Is it not Seattle? It's Chicago. Yeah, either Chicago has ice rinks for roads, or that handling of those cars is fucking abysmal.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the latter.
Yeah.
Because it is awful. It's got so much kind of... I think it's like...
sideways motion?
Well, I was thinking like smoothing. So you hold left and it's kind of like, oh, now I'm going left.
Yeah.
So you just end up, it doesn't feel responsive in the slightest. And I'm usually quite good at driving games, but I spent a lot of the time pirouetting in a muscle car.
Yeah.
Which...
yeah. To be fair, if you had a proper muscle car, you'd probably do that for a little while.
Well, the thing is, a proper muscle car, I'd hold the accelerator halfway down. Right. I'd start with a slow acceleration. I tried it on there, and it went from literally all to nothing.
No, I was actually meaning a real muscle car. If you had a real muscle car, you'd probably put your toe down.
I wouldn't put my toe down and spin on the spot because I would kill myself. I would start slowly, and I tried it on the pad, and what happened was I'd slowly span in a circle. It was just irrelevant what I did. Anywho,
470. Yeah. Fuck that. Jesus.
Lots and lots of copies.
So what were you going to say next? What do you want to go to
Bobby
next?
Kotick was almost fired in 2013. I know. What's the opposite of dodging a bullet? Because dodging a bullet is like a good thing.
Yeah.
But this is
taking it full onto the head.
Yeah. It's just bad times.
Yeah, so basically in the whole Vivendi...
It's not just us.
No.
Even his own staff and higher-ups didn't like him.
No.
Especially not when he orchestrated a buyout which included his own money, which has now resulted in a lawsuit because of his actions.
Yeah, so the whole Activision Blizzard Vivendi buyout that separated Activision Blizzard from Vivendi, its parent company, for $8 billion, was it?
It was a silly amount of money.
$8.2 billion.
Yeah.
Combination of some other outside investors and including Kotick's own investment firm and Blizzard's own money. Now, apparently, in the run-up to that, Kotick made it incredibly difficult for any kind of buyout of the Vivendi stock that didn't involve his financial organisation, his financial
He wanted
interest.
to make sure he got money out of this.
He was apparently causing, actually refusing any deal that excluded his own investment group. And Vivendi executives were actually very, very close to firing him. And there was a few emails that went round, and one of my favourite quotes from this thing is it's basically the CEO of Vivendi, Jean-Francois Dubois,
Yeah,
that's
why
close
not?
enough,
Yeah.
sent the email, I really wonder who's going to fire him. And Philippe Chaperon, Vivendi's chief financial officer and Activision chairman at the time, replied with, myself, happily, tomorrow if you want it.
If only.
Yeah.
Oh, our hatred of him is just... It's not necessarily unfounded. We think he's just a money-grabbing bastard.
Yeah.
But at least we're not alone. A lot of people think he's an annoying...
Yeah, in a separate
I'm not gonna finish that
email,
follow,
in a separate email, Chapon said that he had spoken with one of Activision's independent directors, Richard Sarnoff, who opposed the inclusion of Kotick's group in the sale. Chapon wrote that Sarnoff approved of a deal without Kotick. He will help us if we decide to fire him.
Nice.
They were actually seriously considering firing him, and now...
We wish they did.
Yeah, but now, obviously, the investors are suing Vivendi, suing Activision because they don't feel the deal was valid. In fact, they tried to put a block on it. It was on the kibosh was on it until the state overturned.
They allowed it to go ahead, didn't they?
Yeah, the state accepted this has to happen now, or it can't ever happen again.
Yeah.
We will lose billions.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but what's that got to do with the state?
Yeah. So, Yog Ventures.
Oh.
You know way more about this than I do. It was a Kickstarter, it went wrong, it was from the people from Yog's Cast who are starting some kind of sandbox game.
I'm just going to go quickly grab a beer. We'll stick a song in the video.
Cool. Do you want me to do the crazy clap thing so you know?
Well, I'm not going to stop the video, I'm just going to cut it out. Okay, well I've got beer.
Yeah.
So and we've had a song.
Have we?
Yeah.
What was it?
He hasn't got that far yet.
Oh, sorry. Carry on, Young Ventures. That would just be mean.
I'll make you pick a song.
That one by Trevor. There you go, job done.
Have you missed us?
Has Trevor ever made a song?
No.
We should request that he make a song.
No.
Even if we just give him some spoons and some glasses full of water and just ask him to do a tune.
Oh yeah, well, Young Ventures. Young Ventures was a Kickstarter campaign by a little known studio called Wintercool. They had the grand idea that they were going to make a sandbox MMO a la Minecraft, but with more bells and whistles. Just like everybody has at the minute, because Jesus Christ, Minecraft is huge.
Yeah. I don't think Minecraft is just the perfect storm, isn't it?
Yeah. Minecraft is the perfect storm and continues to be the perfect storm.
Although Rust has done quite well to make a realistic Minecraft, basically.
Yeah, but Rust is just a continuation of Gary's mod.
Yeah.
Gary's mod was Minecraft before Minecraft came along and went, yeah, what you do is you make it simpler. So Rust went, okay. And they made Gary's mod simpler, but not as simple as Minecraft.
Yeah. I still struggle with Minecraft. It might just be because, I've only played it on Android.
Yeah.
Which I think is far from the optimal experience when it comes to playing any game.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, not where you want to be.
Never mind.
But anyway, Wintercool were going to make a sandbox MMO, and to try and drum up a bit of a bit of interest in this, they partnered with the guys at the Yogscast. Now, for you that don't know, the Yogscast are a YouTube group, British YouTube group of gamers. They play a lot of Minecraft, a lot of creative type games. They're quite amusing personalities in general.
Yeah, they have a massive following.
Yeah,
a ridiculously big following.
They don't build anything. Well, they've got a few really, really impressive builders in there that can build some really crazy shit. Like Shin, who replicated the entire scene, the entire city of Erebor in Minecraft, and it just looked epic. But what they were doing, they created this thing called Young Ventures, and it was asking for $250,000, which, to be fair, should have raised warning signs to begin with. $250,000 to make a sandbox MMO is not enough. It raised just over twice that, and
still wasn't enough.
Still wasn't enough. Immediately, it took a year or two to get to this point, but it last month failed. The Yogscast the project crumbled. The studio is about to go bankrupt, and basically it went wrong, left, right, and centre, just through inexperience.
Yeah,
and mismanagement.
Even then, inexperience is one thing, but they gave somebody a working contract which paid everything up front.
Yep.
And gave them no reason to stay around.
Nope.
That is a terrible contract.
Everything came up front, and no recourse were they not delivering what they were being paid for.
Yeah. So it's like saying something. Here's $35,000.
Yeah. So they basically gave the guy $35,000. He stuck around for 2 weeks, and LucasArts gave him a job. Yeah. He had to work out his month's notice, but LucasArts wouldn't let him work on any other project as part of their contract, because they had a lot better contracts. You are now working for LucasArts.
Brilliant.
So they basically paid $35,000 for art assets that never materialised. They had another couple of people that worked on similar contracts, and
it all
the amount of money they threw away.
Wrong.
After a while, the Yogscast guys went, hang on, we've got our name involved with this. We want a chunk of that money to make sure that the physical rewards for the Kickstarter campaign actually get delivered.
Yeah.
And we will get involved with the hiring of your lead developer. Now, this is where it all gets messy. The two sides are now arguing over where the money went, who spent what money, who was involved in what. The guy at Wintercool says, with hindsight, they should have put the Yogscast guys in charge of all the money up front because they've got experience. Because they're now, Yogscast have been going for now nearly a decade, and they've been. They make a decent amount of money. They employ 20 people, so
they've got more experience.
They've got experience running a business, basically.
Yeah.
And it's now just a tit for tat over who's to blame for this particular failure, and it's a worrying time. It's basically
it's another Kickstarter story.
It's a highlight on what can go wrong with Kickstarter. Yeah. How having a decent name attached to it doesn't mean it's going to work. You've got to make sure that you actually read into the details, because people will have bought into this on the Yogscast name. They'll have gone, Yog Ventures, yeah, I'll have that, without looking into the fact that the game was being made by Wintercool, a studio that had never been barely been heard of before, definitely hadn't made a game of this scale before, and was a 6-man studio. And what confuses me about it is the whole Kickstarter thing. It's now that aside, Kickstarter, the people now pissed off that they're not going to get the rewards that they were promised. They're not going to get the game that they bought into. I'm sorry, but if I've got one simple thing to say to you, don't be a fucking retard. If you're putting money into anything on Kickstarter, that money's gone.
Expect it to fail.
Well, no, don't expect it to fail, but don't put money into a campaign on Kickstarter that you can't afford to lose. Effectively, Kickstarter is one of the biggest gambles.
Well, the thing is, it's not even an investment. You don't get anything back.
Yeah, you don't get anything back. Kickstarter is gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's gambling. You're gambling that they actually get. They use your money wisely and get a return product for what you asked for. There's no guarantee. In fact, Kickstarter's own terms and conditions says we will not be held accountable if they don't actually meet.
Yeah. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Good luck. Once the money's gone to them, that's it. They have to deliver, but we can only take in recourse if they turned out to be a scam in the first place. So if they never had any intention of making the thing, or don't even try to make the thing, then we have legal recourse to get the money back off them. But until then, and in this case, Wintercool, yeah, they took a good shot at it. There was alphas, there was betas, there was actual working demos of the game. It was Minecraft, pretty much.
Yeah, but
so Kickstarter can't step in. Yogscast aren't to blame because, well, this is it. It'll boil on and I'll get some more information on it, no doubt. But Wintercool's not to blame because, well, they took on something that was bigger than them. Yogscast are not to blame because they thought
we'll put a name to it.
We'll put a name to it, and probably should have hired the people to come in house.
Kickstarter aren't to blame because, let's face it, it's Kickstarter.
Yeah,
it's the exact thing. That's
the way Kickstarter goes, and
yeah, well,
it's interesting times because there's all these crowdfunding, crowdsourcing packages out there. Indiegogo, Kickstarter, the new one that's coming that's actually investment based.
See, that's what should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
It should be investment based, but I think there are laws against it that make it very difficult area to work in. Anyway, we have other news. Please tell me we have other news. I just want to get away from that one. There's that guy about Call of Duty.
Where?
Manuel Nolizia.
What an idiot.
I am not a bad man.
Yeah, Manuel.
I am in prison.
Yeah, Manuel Noriega was effectively military dictator of Panama for quite some time. He is currently in prison for murder and money laundering. He is now suing Activision Blizzard for his portrayal in Black Ops 2 as a murderer and a money launderer.
You know what I love? Right, no, and kidnapper.
And kidnapper.
What I love about this is I imagine the lawsuit says, I never kidnapped anybody. He may have killed, he may have laundered money, but he never kidnapped. And that's why he's suing.
He's basically suing them over misuse of his likeness and damage to reputation.
Yeah, not like the prison sentence has done anything for him.
Not like the fact that you are in prison.
And you are an ex-dictator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lawsuit seeks restitution and damages in excess of $25,000.
That's not that much.
It's not considering how much Black Ops made. That's how much they know they're going to win.
Yeah.
Basically, I think Activision might actually pay out this the thing.
Well, it's less than the court case had probably cost them.
Well, that and it's less than the advertising budget for Black Ops 2. All they need to do is make sure this goes out to a few more press sites in the next week or so.
Yeah, there's the advertising done.
And that's 25 grand's worth of advertising. Fuck that, that's peanuts.
So I've just seen someone on Big Brother slapping someone with a fish.
Considering Black Ops 2 earned more than $1 billion in sales in the first 15 days of release.
It's just disgusting, isn't it? Why do people keep buying it?
Oh yeah, and Lindsay Lohan's currently suing Grand Theft Auto 5 for her likeness.
Yeah, that's my likeness. No, it's just some...
someone ginger though, wasn't it?
Well, it was a girl in a bikini pulling a certain pose.
It was a girl in a bikini pulling a certain pose that's actually being identified as Kate something or
someone else. Yeah.
Yeah. So they actually said that's not your likeness, it's hers. And then the two missions in the game where you're playing as a paparazzo, you're following a celebrity with the paparazzo guy. Could be any fucking celebrity they wanted it to be, because that's just what the celebrity retards do.
Either way, it's a null case that isn't going to get very far.
But I do like the number of people trying to sue games developers as if there's no freedom of speech and as if there's nobody's ever been able... I mean, in Noriega's case, he is actually named.
Yeah,
so
it's actually him at least.
Yes, he actually has a leg to stand on. But the other ones where you're just using my likeness.
Yeah, to say he has a leg to stand on, he is in prison for such things.
Yeah, but he's not. He's in prison for murdering and money laundering, as we've stated.
Yeah,
He's not in prison for kidnapping. So he has a leg to stand on.
The FTC filed a lawsuit against Amazon.
We already covered that.
Did we?
Yeah.
Cool.
As part of the microtransaction stuff.
I'm going to pretend I knew that. And apparently a quarter of people YouTubing are taking a cut from publishers.
Yes, this is weird. It probably would.
That's a very sensationalist headline. It's not a quarter of all people.
No,
just a quarter of those with 5,000 or more subscribers.
Who answered the survey?
The survey.
So Gama Sutra, they're generally a bit more level-headed and a bit more reasonable.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to discount this as much, but they did a survey of YouTubers, and they found that anybody with over 5,000 subscribers had about 25% had taken part in schemes where they received compensation for playing specific games.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
Yeah, well, we mentioned outside of this that it's like a sports person who wears Adidas or Nike or anything like that. They're paid to do so.
Yeah.
Even if it's just accepting a free pair of boots for that match, they're still technically being paid to wear those.
If you go back to the original time of that, Jordan.
Yeah.
Nike made Nike Air Jordan. Now, at the time, he was with LA All Stars or something like that.
Was it the Lakers he was with?
Yeah, he was with the Lakers, and Lakers had a deal with Adidas.
Or was it Bulls? I know he was with the Bulls for a while, but
I can't remember which team he was with at the time, but at the time, the team that he was with had a deal with Adidas. So Adidas provided all of the trainers for the match.
He was fined, wasn't he, for
And
every single...
And he went on for every match, every game, wearing his Nike Air Jordans and was fined every single game by the team for not wearing the team trainers.
Yeah. And Nike paid him that much more.
And Nike paid him that much more that it just made it worthwhile just going, fuck you, I'll do my own advertising. But it happens every game. It happens in TV shows with product placement. Yes, everybody look at your popular TV shows, you will see that everybody uses the same model of phone. Or the same make of phone. If not the same model, the same make of phone. They'll all be LGs, they'll all be Samsungs.
If you ever get bored, go on, have you ever seen Catfish?
Yeah.
They have like a film crew following them around, yet one of them insists on carrying this Canon camera. Mm-hmm. They make sure that the Canon branding is visible at all times as he's filming everything going on. It's like, you're not filming anything.
Yeah.
The film crew are filming, you're holding a Canon camera and pretending to film. It's just ridiculous. But that's the kind of thing, it's everywhere. So why not?
So the fact that a few YouTubers are being paid to... They're just being paid to play the games. They're not being paid to give... They're not being paid to change their opinion on the game. If they are changing their opinion based on the fact that they're paid, well, so be it.
Yeah.
That's up for their viewers to decide. As long as they're making it publicly aware, and they legally have to...
Well, they legally have to in the UK, I don't know about...
And the US.
How's it saying there?
If it's paid promotion, you have to legally make the end user aware that it's paid promotion. How far you have to go with making that publicly aware, whether it's statements at the beginning of the show, whether it's different branding, whether it's just a note in the description, that's still up in the air. That's a bit of a hazy territory. But they have to make an aware, and as long as they're doing that, then I see nothing wrong with this.
Yeah.
I'm
with you.
There are a few people that I would listen to. Some of them, Yogscast, going back to them, they've started a separate package, and they've rebranded Yog Discovery, and that is basically anything that comes in as a paid promotion goes on Yog Discovery.
And they just push it through that.
Because their argument is, from the business standpoint, again, they're businessmen, so they wouldn't earn enough from just playing those games on their own in the advertising income, because the videos that are not their general videos get lower views, so get lower advertising income. So the Yog Discovery thing, by the studios paying for them playing, is actually broadening their game library and balancing out the books. Now, being honest like that, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, no problem. No detriment, and if you don't want to watch it, you don't watch it. Yeah. Right, I think we're only down to one last story.
Which one?
Unreal.
Right,
we didn't mention Unreal Tournament previously.
Oh, we got a couple here.
Have we?
Yeah. So there's Unreal Tournament. It's been shown as a new version is in the works, and they are planning to make it completely free. And the trailer video with the gameplay in makes me want to play it. Unreal before it started going gritty and realistic and...
Well, we haven't had an Unreal Tournament in ever, have we? I mean, it's
3.
Like 2000... Where?
Oh, there was a 13, wasn't there? No.
I'm going back to like the 2000s. I'm going to Google.
Yeah, Google that, because. But I loved Unreal Tournament. I love Half-Life 2 Deathmatch.
Yeah, the simple games.
Simple franchises. You don't need all the bells and whistles. When was it then?
1 minute. Just carry on. It's fine.
But they're working on a new one. They're working on a new engine for it. They're working on, and they showed the developer view. I feel a bit mean saying this, considering I am a massive nerd. But they could not have got a video of their developers that made them look any more nerdy if they
I like
actually
it
try.
because it looks like it's the original guys that worked in the old Unreal.
No, but they all look. It can't be because they all look too young.
No, one of them doesn't.
Yeah,
There's one guy who clearly has been there way too long. Unreal Tournament 3 originally launched 2007. I'm guessing, given that the code name was UT 2007.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't play that one. I just remember,
There was an online version as well. There was a web browser-based one.
Yes, but I think it was a remake.
Oh, was that
previous
Quake?
one. Quake.
That was Quake Online.
Quake in the browser, yeah.
See, there was nothing wrong with Quake or Unreal Tournament or...
There were a certain kind of
Half-Life
game. They played towards bunny hoppers and kind of bouncing around. There was no realism involved. It was just a different kind of game.
Fun.
Yeah. It wasn't about realism and reenacting real life events. It was about what if you were this, kid with ADHD bouncing around the room.
Can I fire a rocket launcher, write my name in the sky in the smoke, and then still twat the guy between the eyes?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes.
Yes,
I can.
I just remember the Redeemer. That was awesome. And the old, I think it's original Unreal Tournament. I don't know if it came back in further versions, but the Redeemer was stupid. Basically a nuclear warhead with a camera on it.
Yeah.
And you just fired it and then decided whose arse you wanted to ram it up the back of.
My best one is still Half-Life 2 Deathmatch.
With
playing a game in the office, and one of the maps there was a ledge and two paths running across, and I noticed Dan running over one path, and so I fired a rocket at him. Then I noticed on the other path Otto was closer. Redirected the rocket, flung it over the entire arena, blow Otto up, spun back around, switched to the crossbow, bolted Dan in the head.
Nice.
I was just yes.
I still think the most satisfying gun in any game or weapon, is the crossbow. Even on Half-Life, you still had a delay. It wasn't as big as like the old school burn arrow, but on the crossbow, you had to account for where they were going to be. And that one occasion when you fired it just right, they were running that way, and you managed to get the arc and hit them.
My favourite bit of the Half-Life 2 crossbow was the fact that it was a railgun. You pinned fuckers to the wall.
Yeah. If you could hit them, which goes back to my previous point.
Yeah.
Just the most satisfying thing, actually being able to hit someone as they're running.
It was knocking them off something, and then a ragdoll body is just there twitching on the wall.
So if you ever get a chance to go back and play Fear, that was great, because you had a gun that just fired these big metal spikes. You could pin people to walls. It's always good.
We need to play Deathmatch.
Yeah.
Get your laptop up and running. Half-Life 2 Deathmatch.
I'll have to bring it here because on my internet. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Deathmatch will work on the Mac, won't it?
I don't know. I don't know if they've ported it. I'll have a look.
Find out.
Yeah.
Because if it does, me, you, Alec, and anybody else that wants to join, we'll have to have a match.
Sounds like a plan. Right, what else we got? Little Big Planet.
Yes, Little Big Planet 3 private beta is due next month. And I can't wait, because Little Big Planet 3 looked epic. It looked brilliant. The differences between the characters... It's not changing that drastically from Little Big Planet 2, but Little Big Planet 2 was pretty perfect.
Yeah.
And it's been done by Sumo, so...
I'll admit, Little Big Planet's always been that one where I love playing it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't. I know it sounds really bad. I really enjoy playing it when I actually play it, but getting people to sit down and play it is quite difficult.
Yeah.
Despite the fact it's hugely enjoyable, people generally will pick other games.
Yeah, it takes a bit of getting into, doesn't it? So, it's...
Ah, well.
Last one, Firefly Online.
Woo! I've been watching Firefly again recently. I'm almost to the end now. Almost.
It's bad time, isn't it? Because then you realise it's the end.
I know, well that's it. I've been delaying it, but I just I'll have a month off. I'll leave it a bit. Then I went to 4 episodes yesterday.
The best you can do is Serenity. But the Firefly Online, it was happening for a while and then it got cancelled and now it's back, and it's actually going to be properly funded, and they have got the original cast back to do voice acting.
Fantastic.
That's how serious it is this time. So all of the actors are coming back. I want this game.
Yeah, you lost me at online. Seems you put online on the end of a title, that's it. It's too much of a commitment for me. Because it means other people are playing, they're dependent upon you. It's just too much like hard work. But still, those graphics look immense, by the way.
Look at that. Pretty.
But that's about it for our...
Where are we? There must be something else.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, a news channel used Metal Gear Solid 5 screenshot in a child soldiers report.
Fantastic. They really aren't bright, are they?
No.
I've just realised one we've missed.
What?
EA.
Oh yeah.
I don't even think we got it in there. So EA have announced their own little service, EA
Access.
Basically, you pay a subscription, you can get your EA games. So many sports games, NFL, FIFA, so on, you get on demand essentially.
Yeah.
You can just have them. And then you get discounts on other big games as they come out, as well as early access and so on. It's only on Xbox. Sony weren't too fond of the idea.
Yeah.
To which lots of people have said, well, Sony, that's not your decision to make. I kind of agree with. Really, Sony should say, yeah, fuck it, do it. If people buy it, they buy it. If they don't, they don't. Whereas really, it feels very much like Sony are controlling it because it may interfere with their own plans for...
Yeah, but at the same time, it is kind of a rival to PlayStation Now, but it's not at the same time because it's not streaming.
Yeah.
It gives you access to the EA vault of games. These games can be played for as long as you want at no extra charge. At no point does it say it's streamed.
No. But Sony's argument and what they said was it doesn't pose good value, which I beg to differ.
Well,
it's like, what, 20 quid a year? Which is cheaper than one game, and you can get access to a lot.
Sony are being a bit dickish about this, but at the same time, if they've gone through the business, we don't know what else is entailed in this package that they would have had to do to make it work with EA and make it work with the...
There must be some investment behind the scenes.
Yeah, there might be technical requirements that were needed, or hardware requirements that were needed. Well, it's unlikely to be hardware, but might have been legal ramifications that Sony just weren't willing to sign into.
Yeah,
it's still in beta. It's as
everyone said. Basically, it boils down to what games are you going to get. Because currently they're only offering last year's stuff.
Yeah.
So you get the previous year's sports games. I don't know. It's just that whole thing. Last year's sports games were always dirt cheap anyway.
Yeah, they are.
And what's the chance of you playing all of them? You're not going to, are you? You're probably going to play one or two tops.
Well, that's it. You're going to have your game. That's it. You don't play many sports games. You have your sport.
People generally pick FIFA, or they'll pick NFL.
FIFA, NFL, hockey.
Yeah, hockey's kind of that middle ground though, because everyone likes hockey.
Yeah, but your hardcorers, the ones that would play last year's NHL are...
Yeah.
They'd only play NHL. You get your EA Street. EA Street is your kind of middle ground. Because that's not real sport.
It's accessible, everyone can play.
It's not a real sport for whatever sport it actually is.
Do you remember when NHL was popular? Like back in the Sega Mega Drive days?
Yeah.
NHL was one of the best games you had on the Sega Mega Drive, and everyone loved it.
My sports game of choice on the Mega Drive?
NFL?
No.
Madden? Whatever it was called.
Brian Lara Cricket.
Yeah, I had that.
Yeah. I became a legend at that.
I can understand, actually, yeah. It makes sense. I never really felt like I was massively in control of what was going on.
No,
but yeah.
Brian Lara Cricket and Premier Manager 96.
Oh, that last one's depressing. It was a spreadsheet. It's not a game.
Yeah,
I've been through this before.
I know, but I was more interested in building the perfect stadium and getting the most advertising. Now you had billions by the end.
You ran it like a business, not like a sport.
Yeah, I didn't care about the sports. Fuck it.
We're losing. Fuck it. Bigger seats.
Hang on. No. We're losing. The advertisers are not happy. Get something done about it. I didn't care about whether we were winning because the players were good. I cared because the advertisers were pissed off.
They were pulling out.
And that's it. We're done.
Yeah, good times.
We'll probably do another one of these soon, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got to get one in before we go away on holidays.
Yeah.
Work and such. It won't be too long. Right, bye Trevor.
See ya.